Hi, don't forget to check out my course for the quant section of the CAT exam where I've explained all concepts, tips and tricks, shortcuts, and past year questions in great detail.
All right, guys. So this is the next question from CAT 2018. Please give it a try. All right, guys. So the smallest integer n such that n cube minus 11 n square plus 32n minus 28 is greater than 0 is. Type in the answer question. Now, what many people do here is they follow a very random process. They use hit and trial to find out the integer value of n here. So yes, of course, the process may begin with a little bit of hit and trial, but once you find out the first solution to this given equation, then it's all methodical. It's a very methodical process. Okay, guys. So first of all, to solve this question, we need to understand two concepts. Okay, the concept of synthetic division and the wavy curve method. Okay, if you're not aware of these two concepts, you can just revisit this from our course of quantitative aptitude. Okay, and the third module in which we have discussed algebra in detail. So the first step is to identify one possible solution to the given equation. Okay, you can start by assuming n is equal to 0, which you observe 0, 0, 0 minus 28 will not give you a 0 for the given equation. So n is equal to 0 won't satisfy this given equation. Forget the greater than equal to part. We want this equation to be 0, but n is equal to 0 does not satisfy. The next possible root can be n is equal to 1. So let's check. 1 minus 11 plus 32 minus 28 does not give you 0 again. So n is equal to 1 is not a possible solution. Let's check for n is equal to 2. 2 cube is 8 minus 11 into 2 square 4 plus 32 into 2 minus 28. That will be 8 minus 44 plus 64 minus 28. 8 plus 64 is 72. Minus 44 plus 28 is also minus 72. Yes, this gives you a 0. Right? And that tells me that the first possible root or the first possible solution to this given equation is n is equal to 2. So what we do is we write n is equal to 2 here, and then we use synthetic division to find out, okay, the other roots or the other factors for this given equation. So we have n cube means coefficient is 1, n square minus 11, coefficient of n is 32, and the constant term is minus 28. Right? And the root here is 2. So now we use synthetic division and try to find out, okay, the other factors for this given equation. So we take 1, then 1 into 2 is 2, minus 11 plus 2 is minus 9, minus 9 into 2 is minus 18, 32 minus 18 is 14, 14 2 sides 28, minus 28 plus 28 is 0. Okay, so from here, we can check out the other factors of this particular equation. Okay, we have 1 into n square minus 9 into n plus 14, the constant term, and the remainder is 0. So this equation can be simply written as n minus 2, the divisor here, into n square minus 9n plus 14. All right, now talking about this part, this is a quadratic which can be factorized as two numbers having sum minus 9 and product 14 will be minus 2 and minus 7. So this entire equation will become n minus 2 square into n minus 7. Now you want this entire equation to be greater than 0, or you want n minus 2 square into
N minus 7 greater than 0.
Now we use something called as the wavy curve method, where we plot the roots 2 and 7, and we observe that beyond the value 7, the equation is always positive. Okay, between 2 and 7, the equation is always negative. You can take any value and check. Otherwise, you can observe that the power of n minus 7 is an odd power. So there is sign change. At n is equal to 2, the power is even. So there is no sign change. The equation will still be negative. So at n is equal to 7, it is becoming 0. The equation is becoming 0. Okay, at the value of n, which is just more than this, the integral value, we will have n is equal to 8. And this is the least integral value of n, where the equation will just become positive, right? So the answer to this question is n is equal to 8.